of this game because anything can realistically happen, and we can see a lot of different outcomes here. Inferno is a really strong map for Gamer Legion Prism, so I hope they just start things off on the right foot. With it being 9 Pandas Fearless get to choose which side they're on, I can only imagine that they want to kick things off on that defense, which means Gamer Legion Prism have a chance to show off their offense.
Yeah, and right now it's CS2. I would say offense definitely has been getting a bit of a spike in how successful a lot of T rounds have been on a lot of maps. But Inferno also being one of them, and I can't wait to see what they're going to be pulling out of the strat book. Thus far, it's an extremely slow round. A couple players actually very close to the spawn, making me almost wonder that they're AFK, that they might have a tech issue, but no, it's not going to be that. And look at that, very quiet, and then McKerry just strikes with surprise.
Yeah, I really like that, and then that's going to be the accelerator signal. Fatal, though, with the dual Berettas will mow them all down. Free immediately out the gate for 9 Pandas Fearless. That gives them a real shot here in this retake. Bomb will be planted, but it's game on.
Melly immediately goes for the hunt and actually has the backup, but oh no, Victoria is simply stronger on the USP. Both actually manages to get them. And that's it. That's a wonderful retake coming out after the initial loss, of course, and immediately start being compromised so quick, but 9 Pandas are just almost like a step ahead.
Yeah, I really like that. Obviously, dual Berettas in close proximity are always going to be a little bit of an issue, especially with the flashbang moving forward. But the slow, methodical approach to find the opening kill, I hope that's a staple just in these default rounds for Gamer Legion Prism. Because obviously with the pistol, you want to accelerate, you want to give it a go. And I'll tell you what, with the bomb plant, they're actually going to invest in completely. This is really interesting. Elizabeth lining up a very deep smoke that looks like it's going to land over in Banana. That's really cool. I haven't actually seen or commentated Inferno on CS2 whatsoever.
No, I don't think either. I mean, ultimately, I've played it a ton of times, but for some reason, people didn't really love picking into Inferno thus far. Been seeing so much overpass and vertigo, but do love me some Inferno. And this stalling over here for Gamer Legion, I mean, they're not going to be respecting it any longer. There's initial trade, but once again, it's 2 for 1, and 9 Pandas Fearless, they kick it off strong once again.
Yes, a little bit awkward where you're prioritizing the weaponry here, Gamer Legion Prism. You haven't got all the utility at your disposal, and we know Inferno, it's a map where you've got to fight for top brackets, you've got to fight for top banana. Top brackets has changed a lot. There's new smokes that need to be learned, but you can't just throw them fairly easily. So as a result, I feel like banana's going to be a lot more highly contested, which is why we're seeing the contact play here more over towards A rather than this utility being dispensed down. Victoria has spotted them, but it is currently a favorable position if Gamer Legion Prism want to head to either which bomb site, because it's a 3-on-2.
Gonna go for the wraparound. So is here, at least holding out for long, but with an MP9, that's definitely not going to be a very easy fight. Therefore, more pressure up on Victoria, and she actually goes down. Maybe still a way into the round, but not with a team kill. Oh, that's a big, big mistake for Gamer Legion.
Oh, yeah, that is really not ideal. There is utility still available on Kezi, and in fact, the kills are all being found out, at least until Fatal steps in. We spoke about the player advantage for Gamer Legion coming onto the site, but fighting from back within it, it's a different story. Fatal is cleaning house right now with the MP9. Another 3K for her. Upgrades to that A1S. Really impressive stuff so far.
I really thought that there was a way back in for Gamer Legion. The original entries were really good, sending 9 Pandas Fearless in a very awkward position with an MP9 having to deal with the fight long range and your initial rifler going down. But a simple mistake like a team kill that could eventually cost you the round, which is very unfortunate, and therefore the buy keeps on being a bit rough. We still have the Curie up on a Mech 10, a couple of Galils and a Scout for Joanna. It's not completely empty just yet, but they have to continue fighting. Just try to get a round up on the board.
It's a really smart investment choice because this is now both situations in which you've run the economy low for 9 Pandas Fearless. You can still get these Galils and you can still have utility behind it. So I really like this purchase. A fight for Banana's about to ensue, but Tati, I was going to say she had the favorable position. McCary will take her down, but not before a trade out of Fatal. 7 kills already for her, and she's got the quick support of Victoria on the AWP, but will she arrive in time?
Oh, bit of a miss shot there by Fatal, but Victoria at least in a good spot will be mollied out. So still an opportunity for Gamer Legion to get that bomb planted, but the longer they wait, the more reinforcements are incoming. And the smoke, of course, also won't hold up any longer. Oh, such a brilliant nade. This fire is already down to 40 HP, and Joanna also falls. More struggles up on the board, but alright. Even with a couple of 9 Pandas Fearless players being extremely low, we still end up in a 1 versus 1, and it's the MP9 that wins out the battle.
Oh, this is so rough for Gamer Legion Prism, but it's just these retakes being so strong. The utility thrown in so late by 9 Pandas Fearless. It is just overwhelming. You can see that a couple of players are getting lost in the sauce a little bit for Gamer Legion Prism. Kezu was being shot at from Coffins, wanted to strafe out deep and take the fight in towards CT with her teammate. It's good initiative, but unfortunately all of this chip damage combined with the flashbangs over the top, it is getting rough, but yet again, we're going to see another investment because once more, it was a 1 versus 1 on the cards. Gamer Legion Prism are so close, but it's 9 Pandas Fearless snatching away the round wins time after time.
So the clutch potential is just a tad bit higher on the 9 Pandas side of things. Now we have to wait and see how they adapt. At least this round definitely still very much possible here for Gamer Legion. They have almost 4 AKs on the board. Maybe util department is a bit lacking. But if the plans are there, and I mean, every single time they have succeeded to try and get up on that side. Oh, okay. It's a good couple of trades, but there's so much damage already dealt. And look at this. Elizabeth is immediately going to go in with the speed train right in behind. And sure, there's an initial smoke. It will cause a little bit of a delay. Surely they have the wraparound very nice and fast, plus the HP advantage.
These are really good afterplants being taken by Gamer Legion. If they smoke off Banana right now, that delays 20 seconds. Obviously, the CS2 smokes have increased just a little bit. Victoria posted on the angle, but no one's home. Gamer Legion Prism say, you want to take the bomb site? You have to come in towards us. All this utility now being dispersed, but no one's fighting forward. This is a lot smarter of an afterplant here. Kezi can take this contact to gain some intel and burn even more valuable seconds off the clock. It will be a commitment, but there's definitely not enough time here for the defuse to come through. So while Shu will get the final kill, she might not even be able to survive.
Nope. I mean, it's Inferno after all. Even if she got to bottom banana, I don't think she would have been able to keep it alive. But yeah, once again, we do go to the very wire. It's not going to be close. There's not going to be too much economy to really thrive off of. I do think that the economy on the 9 Panda side of things is sort of broken. They are going to be committing here to a buy. Fatal can afford to buy a rifle, but the rest is just pistols and a couple of flashes. That's it.
Yeah, that is a back-breaking round, and now all of this investment will start to pay off. Elizabeth and Fatal leading the charge with one rifle in the 5-7, but once again, it's misfire. It's Kezi getting these immediate trades in for Gamer Legion. This is really well worked. A 3 versus 2, sure. There's still opportunity here for the CT side, but right now, it looks like a promising position for GL.
And they can just take it slow here. You can just investigate banana, see if it's clear. Wait for any other strange pushes to come about. I mean, no one at the moment... Oh, well, actually, no. Joanna was holding out for top mid, which is the way that they're going to be heading, as are the CTs. Ooh, that's a very nice kill being picked up by Xu. So, immediately, you do see Gamer Legion are backing off. I mean, it's pointless to try and recover just, you know, an AK over a Galil. This moment, you just have to make a run for it, get that bomb planted. And once the bomb is planted, you are back into a really big advantage. But there's now a couple of weapons picked up by 9 Pandas Fearless, so who knows what they could still make off of this round.
If they even want to go for it, that's a decision that now needs to be made. Because in theory, this was the force buy out of 9 Pandas Fearless. So you can definitely give it a look in. A 2 versus 2, but you haven't got the luxury of a kit. So you need to move fast. There's a smoke that can be thrown in towards CT. There's a flashbang that can be thrown over the top, but they need to move now.
And on the back of the util, the peak comes out and Kezi gets both. I mean, it's calculated and is very well placed and organized. Game Legion really, sure, a couple of kills that are maybe, it's not really what you want to be seeing if you definitely have the better buy over your opponent. But they do make sure that in the after plan, they win it out nicely. The ideas are there. And that's a conversion as well. So the economy is starting to look a little bit better. Whereas 9 Pandas, they have no choice but to eco this one out.
What a great start to the game for both of these teams. We've had the back and forth, constant purchases. And it definitely was the correct decision. And it makes a much more explosive, exciting Counter-Strike. 5-player lean here for 9 Pandas, as you mentioned. They're just taking their time, trying to hope and pray. The Game Legion Prism wants to go investigating. Of course, this is one of the primary zones we've already talked about capturing early. But because of this good progress being made up towards top banana, all Game Legion Prism want to do is not walk into a stack. That is the main objective of this round because they know the money is completely gone.
Well, we have Joanna into mid. She has the bomb as well. Flash comes about the corner. Can they deal with it though? Oh, yes, they can with ease. Everyone stays alive on the Game Legion side. And this is perfect. Whereas in the previous round, a couple of lives lost. This is nice and clean. Give yourself this nice economic buffer, which is definitely a step ahead right now of your opponent. They have the pressure upon their shoulders to win this round, or else gonna be sent back to the drawing board.
Yeah, this is a very important round, which is why 9 Pandas Fearless have called a tactical timeout. This is a really good place for it. Because this is your investment again. You've put a lot of pennies into getting this AWP out for Victoria. So much so that she goes without Kevlar. Only armed with a flashbang. You see the style in which Game Legion Prism are playing. They're more than happy to sit back. They'll let 9 Pandas Fearless burn their utility out early, take the control, and then they'll fight for it back with utility of their own. I wonder if that's going to be the thought process for 9 Pandas Fearless. Post Victoria on an angle, get her isolated on Banana, and then you can rotate extra players towards A. It works quite a lot. We've seen Heroic do it a lot at the highest level in Tier 1, and it's a good sort of model to follow.
Lots of burn damage over there towards Banana. And even though Game Legion do creep on closer... Ooh! Oh, wow! They let the nade in the smoke, but they commit. And even with Kezi being so extremely low, they rise to the occasion. They are not fearless. And maybe 9 Pandas should be.
Oh, that's really awkward. And now Fatal is stuck in this smoke, and she's just waiting. Going to be used as another source of bait, but meanwhile... out on A, Melly is being quite vocal and shoot. Just lies in wait in the smoke. Another spam, another kill connects. And now you see Fatal scrambling over as they reset long. Flashbang so good to get Gamer Legion through. But the spray on the FAMAS drops the bomb.
Oh, but this is actually a really nice response. Immediately tried to push on the site to sort of separate the CTs here a little bit. And the bomb now picked up. Planted here for short and apartment. As Mrs. Fire up in the site. Because he makes a bit of noise, but luckily not heard. Still, both 9 Pandas players wrapping around from long. That's the first down. Ooh, and it's getting dicey. Stuck in a crossfire and nothing that you can do. This important round, which was a very much needed one here for 9 Pandas to keep this city going. That's been taken away. Gamer Legion continue the streak.
Yeah, they're playing very good Counter-Strike right now, Gamer Legion. This is a bit unfortunate. So the nade gets caught on the half-wall, so it only blows open a fraction of the smoke, which Victoria wasn't expecting, and Kezi takes full priority over it. I like the idea as well of having an extra play. I think it was Jonana that was flanking from B to split the 9 Pandas Fearless troop in towards CT. Doesn't quite work out, and instead now we've got Tati trying to perform a juggling act with all these grenades. Looking to line things up. Game of Legion Prism, I think their T-side has been incredibly solid. And if it wasn't for a couple of retakes here or there by the 9 Pandas, we could be looking at a very lopsided scoreline.
Game Legion just take it step by step for a bit of util actually over towards A. Keeps those CTs busy. And they creeping closer and closer here into Banana. But I do like this. You know, they're not going to keep on onto all of their util. They're making sure that every piece has worth. And that they're going to be taking the side. I want to say with ease, but there is a reverse kill. But oh my lord. The damage that is done by all of these nades is so immaculate. And this is now the moment that these pistols can strike. That's already the first kill. And it's a 3v2? What's happening?
Just been bombarded out. Now this gets really awkward. Jonana is in a key position, but Shu is working her way forward. You've got no doubts that she will probably clear this. Jonana looking the wrong way, gets punished, and now it's all onto Mrs. Fire. A 1 versus 3, but they wide swing together. It's the eco round of all things that undoes the progress and the hard work of Gamer Legion Prism. Sure, they got the bomb down, but in reality, you should not be losing to pistols.
I mean, that's all due to the calculation here by 9 Pandas. The way that everyone has bought up nades, they knew exactly how to play out a scenario like that. Of course, it definitely helped that they gambled on the right side here. Majority of the players, of course, being in the right moment at the right time. And the nade damage is just so beautiful. Yeah, so it makes the scoreline all tied up again. Pressure is back on, of course, now on the flip side for Game Legion. Because the win bonus that they had is gone. Now you kind of want to see if you can hang on. If you can maintain the lead.
These nades are just disgusting down Banana. Once again, Kezi is just living on a sliver of health. This time we've got a different mode though. It's going to be an apartments pop. See, Joanna's going to throw these flashbangs over. Shu drops the smoke. Honestly, the most perfect moment. Have that thrown in the face and slided down the van to be silent for dramatic effect. Really cool moves on display here. 9 Pandas Fearless. It feels like they got this one figured out.
The right idea to try to get ahead of the situation, but there's also a good chunk of flashbangs to follow up. Wow, I wasn't expecting that kill to come on through. That actually goes a bit back and forth. It's in favor of 9 Pandas still. The bomb once again will be planted, and we have seen Gamer Legion be so strong in these positions. There's a bit of a gap in the smoke. Ooh, but the trade is there.
And now the pressure's on Melee. Has got a lot of utility, but doesn't want to reveal herself from the pit. Should not be pulling out any util here in this 1 versus 2. Fatal starts to creep up short. Melee had the chance, but now it's a little bit far gone. Victoria needs to swing back in. The flashbang comes over instead. Melee dancing around this pit. 9 Pandas Fearless, remember, they need to get on this bomb. Start to creep on closer. Fatal hits the shot. Is there enough time for the defuse? I think there is just a second within it. And the reason why I was giggling earlier, we might be able to see it on the replay. The grenade sent the ragdoll absolutely flying about 15 foot in the air.
Oh, gotta love CS2 physics. And just game mechanics overall. But, alright. Let's look at this. So, we did have a win here for 9 Pandas. They broke the tie. But, they're gonna come straight back in with another tactical timeout. I think they are definitely feeling the heat in this one. It might not be going as easy as they might expect it to be. So it is definitely important to keep your head in the game and to try to win out this half. There's not that much, that many rounds left anymore.
I really like the call for the pause again here, because it's a moment in which Gamer Legion Prism, in actuality, in that round, should not have had as much purchase and as much responsibility. Here we go. Bye. As they really achieved. It's 9 Pandas Fearless crumbling on these bomb sites. So 30 seconds, the coach gets on the mic. He just says, look, we know what we're doing here. Don't need to overcomplicate things. Just settle and calm a little bit. Ooh. Speaking of calm, it's not happening in this one. Yet again, Nades, the main culprit of death. Fatal, though, finds even more success. She's on for the ace. As she burns alive too, the AK will neutralize a couple more. And now it's the in-game leader of Gamer Legion Prism, Kezi, trying to secure things up. First objective is just deny this ace of Fatal, but she can't manage it. It's the full house for Fatal.
And once again, it's off of the grenade damage. I was flabbergasted to see how many people were low. Also, at the same time, I was also surprised at how little deaths there were yet. But then you have Fatal, who's going to be mowing them all down. And that 6 secure, at least the half with that. Or I guess a tied half. We can't really give a lead anymore, which is a little sad with the amount of rounds that we have going on. But there is a bit of wiggle room to really build up that lead, but Gamer Legion do have money back in the bank, and they're once again going quite fast.
I like this. You've shown fast banana. One thing we haven't done yet, if you're Gamer Legion Prism, is just progress in towards top brackets and lay down a real fight. Smokes over towards long and short are a little bit of an issue, which is why we're going to get these stalemates off with the AWP. Kezi is able to walk up off the presence shown by Jonanna and immediately chucks one downrange at long. And now this gives a lot more space for this T side to work with.
Oh, getting really tight. But take the precious time. Creeping closer. There's still a smoke they sort of have to wade out over towards apartments. Trying to wait probably for the 30-second mark. Classic. It works so well to try and burst up. But once again, it looks like 9 Pandas has the nice read on it. Zero information. Or zero presence over towards Banana, so you can have that 4th player. Oh, and she can do so well. Once again, it's Fatal with the multi-frags, and it's like Gamer Legion is just crumbling. There's a couple of kills back. Okay, Joanna very flashy with the pistol, but by the time they can actually set foot on the site, there is so little left. Joanna, sure, bomb plant is coming into effect. It's a bit of extra cash, but a round once again will go the way of 9 Pandas Fearless.
Just want to talk about Fatal, right? We said coming into the pre-game, if she starts to wake up and kind of adjust to CS2, the 9 Pandas Fearless are going to look incredibly scary. She has 19 kills in 11 rounds. Does that sink in?
Insane.
Like, that is ridiculous. Like, honestly, sort of spoke about being flabbergasted by the utility, but the amount of output that Fatal is providing here on the server is single-handedly carrying 9 Pandas over the line here against a very comprehensive and well-thought-out T-side, the Gamer Legion Prism, who take this pause, have 30 seconds to not really assess the money because you're buying anyway. It's the last round of the first half, but to think about how can we keep this close? How can we give ourselves more of a solid foundation to work with?
And this is super nice. Like, right now, we don't really see too much of lurk action going on by 9 Pandas Fearless. By Gamer Legion, excuse me. I feel like the grip they have on the map is just a lot weaker. And 9 Pandas, with that, they can just sort of outplay them. They can have the control. They have the information exactly as to where they're going. And they're being read like a book. So, in that alone, there's already a big advantage here to be won over by 9 Pandas Fearless. We have to wait and see if they can adapt. This is, of course, the final round of the half. They do have weaponry. For the majority, it's going to be good levels. They definitely could do it. Waiting out the smoke right now in Banana. I'm pushing right through.
I like this. Again, this is something we've not actually seen yet out of this T side. It's just a straight up execute into the B bomb site. We've seen a lot of fights go down on Banana. Instead, it's actually a real contact play. Now the utility goes in. The flashbangs are perfect. Jonana finds the first kill. Fatal under pressure, losing a lot of her life, and she is dealt with. That is B under lock and key. Of course, the retake will be attempted, but Game of Legion Prism in a commanding spot.
Yeah, this time around, 9 Pandas were definitely not ready for how close Gamer Legion already were. You know, they were still trying to line up some util, and, well, before you know it, you're stuck with a flash in your hand. Not the way you want to go out, and this round suddenly has gotten a lot more tough. Kezi is looking to finish it off.
Yeah, it feels like only a matter of time. Victoria full blind. You've got so many players trying to deal with the clock. It's not in your favor. Kezi can swing at a moment's notice. Instead, it will be melee. A fighting chance given to Game of Legion Prism as the half ends 7-5.
7-5. That is what the scoreline is right now between 9 Pandas Fearless and Gamer Legion Prism. It's close. Definitely Gamer Legion bringing a big fight coming into this one. Maybe more so than 9 Pandas would like. And it's not coming easy, but definitely, if there's something that has impressed me thus far in this first half, it has been the nades. It's been the straight-up damage that 9 Pandas have been able to put up. Still, rounds are close, and who knows what Gamer Legion could still do.
Yeah, really impressive, but take a look at this. Smoke misses a little bit, but that doesn't change the outcome. A very fast play out towards A here for 9 Pandas. Smokes mollies, go in and kills aplenty. Misfire still lying about at the back of the bomb site, but gets traded immediately by Elizabeth. McCary will find Victoria on a little bit of an edge through the smoke, and shoot. Will also deal with Kezi. It's a 1 versus 3 for McCary. Her position is known, and 9 Pandas Fearless. That is a pretty dominant pistol.
Immediately, straight up fire. And even with that missed smoke, you know, they're like, you know what, we're just gonna stick to the original plan. We're not gonna do any crazy things. We're gonna do the plan that we feel the most confident in, and I really like that. On the flip side, though, Gamer Legion are not going to be sitting still. Going to come in hot here with SMGs and even a Swag 7 in the hands of Joanna coming into this round. And I'm curious to see what they can pull off with this. They have very little util, so in sheer delay, maybe not so much. But perhaps in the firepower, they can make a difference.
7. I love it. Joanna going for it. Gets volleyed off. It's a little bit unfortunate. I want to see the Mag 7 get some action. McCary full blind, and that means that Kezi is isolated, but McCary doing her best. A little bit unfortunate there. It doesn't quite come in. Shot's not quite connecting for the second kill, and as a result, Gamer Legion Prism, I feel like you hold on to your Mag 7, you hold on to your MP9, more importantly, your armor, by the way, and you bring that forward into the next round, because it will be an eco anyway. 9 Pandas Fearless survive the storm.
It was very rough. McCary there really getting distraught by the aim punch, and even though there was a very good chance that were a couple of players extremely low, but yeah, the SMGs this time around, they win it out. And with that, they do creep on close already to winning out this map. They have secured, and they continue to widen that gap in their league. Gamer Legion definitely in a bit of a top spot right now. At most, it's going to be, I think, some upgraded pistols around the SMG, around the swag. But other than that, they can't really be affording too much here. Unless they want to go crazy and really pull everything out, I'm not too sure if that's the right plan.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. You just buy nades, you go and stack somewhere, you can lob them down middle, and you can maybe run the MP9 straight into the fight. You can even throw the pistols in as well. It's one of those rounds in which you gamba over to one side, whether that's top mid, whether that's banana, and you just race it in. You try and do as much damage as possible. There goes the nades, only doing a little bit of damage over towards Tatty. So instead, it's going to be a more passive, reserved approach here for Gamer Legion Prism. They're just going to stack over towards A and hope and pray that 9 Pandas Fearless walk into them.
Well, some information gained, and actually I think maybe some more banana action, not quite. So they peek into middle, and it's pretty hefty here. A couple of kills back and forth. My partners just hope that they can maybe bait out a couple more with their shots. Not quite going to happen. Gamer Legion back off of that contact. They still have Joanna, of course, with that swag on B. They're going to really have to rely on her shoulders.
I like the fact they've rotated McCary over, despite only having a USP. Mag 7 rings out success. Joanna looking for more. Nearly all of them. But instead, Elizabeth finds one more, but Melly is there in banana. The Mag 7 does everything, and that was a saved weapon. One of the two being brought over for Gamer Legion Prism. And that's technically an eco. They've just won out. That's now 1 for 1 when it comes to the low investments.
Damn, Joanna, who still had to step it up a little bit here, I would say, for Gamer Legion in this particular map. But, I mean, she does extremely well under pressure. That Swag 7 paid off this time around. And sure, I mean, you still have some making up to do. But that's a very nice lifeline. And, you know, you get back into the game a round earlier than expected.
It's cool smoke being lined up. Off rip for Melly. Hope we can stay on her POV just to see where that really goes. Maybe that's for the deep middle. It will take a bounce, and then you can get your players rush in for second mid and that control. I like that. You're pulling out like a pocket strat to guarantee something a little bit funky to offset 9Pandas Fearless, especially after they have taken the timeout and the investment here. Lost my words there for a sec, but that's fine.
Also, a quick little glance at what's happening over on the other streams. We have already a map one here, Banavi, so they just continue hot as is right now happening here on the Gamer Legion side. That's a very good hold.
Yeah, that's really nice. Just a pop play in towards Banana. You send the rifle in. Kezi has been very impressive so far on this map. Keeps delivering with important multi-kills to upset 9Pandas Fearless. And now even more damage going in. Combination of the flames and the spray from the boost. Nets another kill. It's a 2 versus 4 for Shu and Victoria. And remember, they've invested every single penny into this round. It might be a difficult decision, especially with a minute left on the clock, but your minds might even be made up for you with Joanna holding out towards long. You also got Kezi who's starting to make inroads down in towards Banana. Good luck trying to save this one.
Still looking towards long. What you have to do with Joanna? Oh, they both peek and they... Oh.
That's so smart.
Wow. That is really well played. But can they make this round still happen? It was, of course, a 4 versus 2. Victoria still tagged, but Sue is just hot and on fire. Now her AWP does fall, and she needs to trade, and unfortunately can't quite do that. The numbers maintain strong here for Gamer Legion, but it was a very nice try. And Pandas had to eco anyway, so I understand them trying to get something out. But it's not going to happen, at least not this time.
Yeah, really well done. The fact that 9Pandas Fearless don't get a bomb down either is really important because it means Tech 9s now can't come out. It has to be these Glocks. Only a flash and a smoke. Armed for Tatty. Double AWPs have been scooped up as well, scavenged off Victoria's body. So now you've got an even more of a bolster to this defense. Nades ring out in quick succession. Misfire will find Tatty. Shu tries her best. Will actually get rid of one of these snipers, but there is an instantaneous trade. You spoke about Navi Javelins taking the first map. We told you we'd bring the score lines as often as we can. Guild versus G2 Oya is now also over. As G2 Oya win 13-4.
Now we've had some very quick games over on the other side. But on the flip side, you know, we get all the spicy action. Very close game on our hands. Gamer Legion one step closer. Okay, Fatal does make it at least a bit more costly. But can she survive with a rifle in hand? The answer is no. But there we have it. Almost a 4-on comeback into 4 effect. Gamer Legion up on 8. As they've stalled the streak right now of 9Pandas Fearless. They are within reach here to try and tie it up.
It's been really impressive. This CT side has had a lot of design thrown in from Gamer Legion Prism. What I mean by that is at the start of every round, they've got a clear direction of how they want to play this. Another deep smoke thrown down in towards middle. It allows Joanna to peek down into second middle. Fatal will actually not be there. Instead, it will be Shu, and she walks straight into the guillotine.
At least all these smokes will sort of continue to help out Gamer Legion. More delays. It's going to be quite hard for 9Pandas to try and set foot upon a bomb site. Even another smoke now deeper in Banana. Makari setting up Yuzo. Actually, that's really nice. So she's going to be throwing some over to her teammate. Kazi could use the flash potentially here. But then again, you don't want to be stuck with a flash in your hand once more. It's all about timing. Oh, Flash does something on a couple of plays. Not quite on the one throwing in the util. So the plan stays on. They're going to be making a move. And how will they deal with this? Kezi has a prime position to maybe get a spam connected. But maybe it's not even necessary. That's a double for McCarry. Kezi's still alive. And it's only 2 more left here on the side of 9 Pandas. They go for the plot. A bit more in the open, but the smoke at least gives the cover. Now can they hang on?
Yeah, pressure's on for Victoria and Fatal. No utility, so have to battle their way out with the weaponry. Jonanna can take first lead on these peaks. Instead, it will be Kezi to do the finishing blow. They line up for Victoria, but the bullets don't all connect onto these players. Melly's got more than enough time for the defuse, and we've got an equalized scoreline here. 9 rounds each. Gamer Leads and Prism really coming out swinging here. And what we've got to remember as well, Fearless, is that the pressure really is on 9 Pandas Fearless. They need to win this best of 3.
They do. Of course, this is the map of Gamer Legion. We were perhaps expecting it to go all the way, so them picking up their own map picks wouldn't be too much of a surprise. But we know that 9 Pandas Feelers definitely, they love to float Inferno as well, and this is definitely a map they also play a lot. And they make it close, but it's not coming off as easy, and they just have to do this next round with a couple of Tech 9s on the board. I don't think 9 Pandas as well had any more timeouts left, so the one being called here is actually on the Gamer Legion side. They called a couple actually relatively early, and I mean, we committed them forward because the timing back then was really nice. But now that it's getting close, there is none left, at least not up until it's potentially overtime.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. No more left for 9 Pandas Fearless. Of course, they get the 30 seconds when Gamer Legion calls them in as well. But at the same time, you're right. If it runs deep, then you've got no more opportunities to deliberately call a pause in play. Maybe if you're on pistols a little bit later down the line, you could hide in spawn and talk about things together as a team. But this is looking really good right now for this CT side. I think the main cause for concern I have right now for 9 Pandas Fearless is that Fatal is top of the board on 24. There's a couple of players next highest on 13. So the ceiling is already high, but the floor needs to be raised up a little bit. Maybe this pop play out towards the balcony could be everything.
The initial flashes do extremely well, but look at this! She still hangs on, and Melly actually helps her out, especially on that rifle. So once again, we have a favored position for Gamer Legion. They will try to get a bomb planted at least. Hopefully that can sort of let things swing back in their favor, but within a blink of an eye, it's only Tati left with a Tech 9. And I mean, it started off with Tech 9, so on paper, you would think this is a very easy one, but you never know. But yeah, Gamer Legion just keep it going nice and easy. And they have also money for days, so when it comes down to sort of playing it out, really trying to secure the 13, I don't think they're going to be struggling too much here.
It's well done. Look, the primary objective in that round for 9 Pandas Fearless was to get the bomb down in the first place. And the objective for Gamer Legion Prism was obviously to win the round and make sure there's as many players alive as possible. The fact that they keep 4 up is really healthy. Another instant mid-smoke thrown in, and then nades go behind it. That does a lot of damage on towards Victoria and Tati. It makes them susceptible to one-bullet headshots now from these M4s. The battle for Banana is fierce, and currently, it's being won out by Tati. She gets the opening kill.
They're not going to try to capitalize it. Take it slow. Wait for the response to come out. Maybe some smokes lined up to cause further delay. But actually, instead, McCarry and Joanna, they get close, but it gets punished. It's being held by Victoria on the orb. Sure, second shot will miss, but look at the trades. Okay, maybe not quite as clean with the team kill as they sort of stand in front of one another, but at the end of the day, it is still a 4-on-2, and this round very likely that 9 Pandas can pick this one up.
Yeah, you save this 100%. If Gamer Legion Prism, it doesn't matter if you've got a little bit of money left in the bank balance. Melly does, but for the likes of Misfire, it'd be important to keep this one over. You can also drop McCary and Kezi to keep the money balanced. It's all about just trying to hold on. A nice play over towards Banana for 9 Pandas Fearless, just making sure they've got very adequate trade spacing as they scale up Banana. They wait for the mistake to happen. that becomes involved with Jonana peeking back in towards top banana. It gets punished by the hold of the AWP on the other end of things. And once again, we go even, double digits for both of these teams, and double digits for Nigma Galaxy as they pick up the first map against One Wing Gang. That one was 13-6.
That one a bit closer, at least. Man, can't wait to see the outcome of this one. 10-10. It's so close. I really can't predict which way it will bounce. Emily just still have, of course, that money in the bag. So I think that might just help them out prevail. But 9 Pandas, therefore, starting to build it up again as well. So who knows? It's all really going to come down on these next 2 rounds, I would say, as to who will be winning out the entirety of the map. Pressure's on. At least keep 9 Pandas out of banana for the time being. But Gamer Legion don't want to overcommit. They send a couple of players right back to A. Make sure they maintain control of the map. Leave banana on the shoulders of Joanna. She's been put on the pressure. She's going to get rushed, and the shadow reveals the position.
Yeah, this is really awkward now. And when it gets scrappy like this, we'll come back to who we think is going to win, because there's more ways to earn money on this T side than there is on the defense. And where they've already saved, you can see immediately, despite that, there are some repercussions. Kezi has no money. Misfire's down to 1,000. McCarry's on an MP9 this round. So you turtle up in towards A instead. You hope the 9 Pandas fearless, second guess it, overcommit, overthink things. They go into the opposite bomb site. If they go in towards B, that's fine. Kezi can have a crack, but at the end of the day, you can save your 3 rifles. 9 Pandas fearless. This looks like a very strong position to be in with 30 seconds left.
There is a almost near to immediate trade, but look at the yellow up in the kill feed. It's now only Mrs. Fire that is standing. And there is still some money in the bag, but this is not really worth going for either way. Better just take the rifle, try again the next, and see if you could bounce back. But the pressure's really going to be on Gamer Legion here in the next. They had a very good comeback here into the second half. The odds didn't quite look in their favor. And now it might all slip away again.
The thing is, you've got to save this next round coming over. And you've got a really difficult decision to make. We'll have a look at the loss bonus, but I'm pretty sure even if Melly drops a few rifles, they'd be better placed, given the loss bonus, to probably save and play for overtime, which is a bitter pill to swallow. Misfire needs to hold on to this rifle and won't manage it. I think that makes the decision slightly easier. I think it has to be a save. I think they're going to have to play for overtime here, Gamer Legion.
It's going to be quite tough, but no.
Okay.
They're just going to go all in. And I mean, I kind of understand. It's either playing for an OT or playing for the win. And I do think that Gamer Legion might just have the spirit to see if they could take it. See if they could... You know, it is a high-risk, high-reward type of scenario.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you have to give it all you got.
Well, B's the weakness. We've seen round after round, 9 Pandas Fearless are getting this banana control, and they are locking it down through just sheer contact. Once Jonana is posted on B, everyone else will rotate over towards A here for this CT side. It's a very common protocol to run, and it's no different that it's commonplace here. 9 Pandas Fearless looking to undo this. They'll take the apartments control. They'll add pressure and sprinkle it in towards top brackets. And then they'll try and make a move, potentially with that shadow advantage again over towards top banana. Great flash.
That's so good. And sure, the shadow shows on one end, but Kezi knew that there was another player about. But they peak at the same time, and 9 Pandas once again play the numbers game and clear out all together. Gamer Legion with that are put in a very tough position. There's not going to be any money left after this. Do you immediately try to group up and sort of hand them the round, or still try to turn the tide? Can be done, but it needs an incredible hold from potentially over towards this A sub. But then again, Arch is also open, so who knows what the plan of 9 Pandas is going to be.
They're wrapping. And you got a good crossfire here as well. Great flashbang. That has to be the peak now from McCary. Does find the first one. Needs Elizabeth here as well, but can't manage it. All the kills come in a matter of seconds for 9 Pandas Fearless. They make their way up to map point, and as we were discussing before, there is limited to no money. Now on the CT side, it should be a very convincing way to try and close Game of Legion's map pick here for 9 Pandas. And there's also a very blockbuster scoreline that has just ended. The one that I'm keeping my eye on the most here, Fearless. Bigger Keeper versus NIP. Bigger Keeper take map 1. Their map pick of Anubis, 13-10.
Keeper one step ahead of one of the other Titans that is NIP. And, well, we had a very tough battle between them last year. And it's once again a grudge match. Very close one. Keeper win that out, at least on map 1. More to play for, of course. And over here, back in our match, no losses taken thus far. It looked like Game of Legion definitely played very passive, don't want to show too much skin. And also don't really have the long-range fighting power here. And that is really making battle tough. They just have to wait and sit in the site.
It comes down to Kezi orchestrating her team and understanding where the hit is going to come in. One smoke overthrown, but one in response and a flashbang. Kezi clears. Actually, there's no one here right now. Just remain on A, and that is the right call, because look at this. 9 Pandas are congregating towards this position. Shu about to throw utility. Shotgun comes in and backstabs.
A very nice kill, but of course her position is compromised. And if they can do it more, maybe they could just make a run for B or commit to A either way. Main problem being is that bomb, Victoria, is on towards mid. They're going to try to wrap, but Kezi keeps them busy. Now Joanna comes in with the flank. And 9 Pandas are in trouble. There's only 10 seconds left to show a couple of extra kills.
It's done.
But can they get the bomb? No, there's no way.
No chance whatsoever. They really overcomplicated that. I think with Tati or on Kezi, basically what happens there is Kezi starts shooting as Tati's got good spacing out towards B. But where Tati's progressed through CT, she communicates, there's no one here. I'm not being shot at. Come back towards B. There's enough time to plant the bomb. But then Kezi reveals herself, actually wins out the fight. And from there, things get completely thrown into disarray. Game of Legion, against the odds, they're forcing us to the full 24. And now they've got an even better buy than what they had in the previous.
Yeah, 9 Pandas, it was like just playing too much with the brains there. And the impulsiveness didn't quite go so well in that particular round. But Fatal here does grab the opening. And immediately, look at this. Game of Legion want to send over a very large chunk of cavalry. Bit doubtful as to who will go. Melly does stay behind then on A. 9 Pandas can just take it slow. They still have Sue, who's a very great lurker. Just being patient. Keeping that map control in their favor. No one being spotted thus far. Because Game of Legion are playing it relatively passive. Very little contact, with the exception now of Melly. Is aware that there's some mid-action going on. But then again, she's sort of by herself. Her teammate's not going to be backing her up.
Ooh,
so she has to fall back.
Unless it's the minimap deceiving me, I think that smoke missed in mid. Which makes things a bit awkward. Joanna's got the backstab here. Oh, this is so perfect. Shu! No way! Turns around and adjusts for it. And now it is all up to Melly. Put her on the pedestal, and she now needs to deliver. That's one swift headshot and a second trying to stay alive, and it's bought enough time for Misfire to fight back. Shu will find Kezi, and now Misfire left alone. Wins out the gunfight versus Shu, but is walking wounded against the Orb. Surely Victoria swaps to the Tech 9, creeping forward. It's a wide swing, and it's the kill collected. 9 Pandas Fearless right at the death. Steal the map pick away from Game of Legion.
Oh, but was it close? It was intense. It was tight to 9 Pandas. I mean, this was a really, really nice fight. They make sure here in this particular last fight that they